Mind of the Meanie is now an exclusive brand partner with WWEshop.com. Pick up all your favorite new merchandise from Roman Reigns.
Acknowledge me.
Cody Rhodes.
I have to finish the story.
LA Knight.
Let me talk to you.
And more using our exclusive link in the show notes. Click below and show your support today for your favorite WWE superstar at WWEshop.com.
Yeah!
Meanie!
Yes, sir.
I have a poem for you. Are you ready?
Ready as I've ever, ready as I'll never be.
I'm going to use my Sam Krebs impression. Roses are red. Violets are blue. Trim your balls and your date will thank us too. What's up, fellas? Valentine's Day is knocking, and Manscaped is the remedy for what the Love Doctor ordered. His prescription? The all-new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, designed to elevate your grooming game and shine like the heartthrob that you are. So join the 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer. So go to manscaped.com and snag 20% off plus free shipping by using the promo code MIND. Meanie and Meanie, I'll tell you, I've had some accidents before with Little John on the East Side boys. I haven't had any now. I had a bush that looks like I have a clown in a headlock, and there's no more problems now anymore with Manscaped. So tell me, sir, how are you getting ready for Valentine's Day?
This Valentine's Day, I will not be a stupid Cupid. I will be using my Performance Package 5.0 Ultra to keep the bushel nice and kept around the hedges. So when it comes to that special time, my special loved one, there will not be no embarrassing mistakes or anything. It'll be a great time thanks to Manscaped.
That's right. Let's talk about the hero of Valentine's Day, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. The electric trimmer features skin-safe technology, guarding your V-Day treasure against any grooming mishaps. So Little John and the East Side boys will be the safest they've ever been. It also comes with their brightest LED spotlight yet. It's brighter than your best romantic smile, perfect for precise grooming even in the trickiest spots. Oh, and also, Meanie, I don't know if you know this, but it's waterproof too.
What?
I know, right? Making shower shaves an absolute breeze. But hey, that's not everything the Love Doctor ordered. This package also contains the Weed Whacker 2.0 nose hair trimmer, Manscaped's liquid formulations, and 2 free goodies. The Shed Travel Bag and Boxers 2.0, because comfort is king for all my dogs. And for a happy ending, there's the Manscaped Refined Cologne. It's the Valentine's Day touch for your grooming routine. Elevate that grooming routine and set the stage for a romantically smooth celebration. And also for guys like us, the Bearded Kings, Manscaped brings you the Beard Hedger Pro Kit, designed to shape your scruff effortlessly. It sculpts your cheek lines and maintains beard styles, giving you that suave look for your romantic moments, seamlessly handling even thicker beards, pal. It's the perfect tool for a polished, date-ready appearance. So go right now today. What are you waiting for? Get 20% off plus free shipping by using the promo code MINDMeanie at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com, and use promo code MINDMeanie because your grooming upgrade awaits you. Ready to charm your Valentine's date. And we want to thank Manscaped for sponsoring the program.
This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world, and welcome to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world, according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, a remote Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie, what's on your mind?
Why do you sound so far away?
I can't even understand you. What's up, Carl?
Ribs on the air. We like ribs on the air. Hey, man, yeah, you're in Florida, and I'm cold. Son of a bitch.
It is a luxurious 74 degrees down here. So nice. No. Listen, like I told you, I got off the airplane. I had my hoodie on, and I had a layover in Miami. And then it was like I don't know. Miami is the worst. Miami is the worst fucking airport in the history of the world. It was miles. It felt like miles to get from one side of the gate. Like it was like we were at gate D19 and we had to go to like gate 30, D30, right? So like, oh, it's like, how many gates? 11 at the most? This should be easy. We walked, Muscle Man Malcolm and I walked for probably 30 minutes to get to this gate. It felt like, I was like, why is this airport so big? I don't like this.
Everybody I know this weekend is either, they were either going to Tampa or Miami before the Jericho cruise. Like everybody knows, posted pictures of Miami. Like, I'm like, what's going on in Miami? Oh, that's where the Jericho cruise leaves from.
Right.
But yeah, man. Just recapping, we had a very cool 200th episode last week, which was very cool, very humbling. Had a lot of people reach out, and the feedback from that episode was really cool too. And it was just really cool to see who all reached out and say congratulations, to recap and everything. And we got one congratulations sent the day the show dropped.
Yes.
And, I want to. We'll go. I'm going to play it, and then because there's a story to it, but I don't want to give away who it is yet. But this was supposed to be on episode 200, but it came the day of. So let's see who sent in a congratulations.
Welcome back to the show. It's Road Dogg and Cassio, and you're listening kind of to.
Oh, you didn't know?
What are you doing?
Man, something stinks.
Something stinks.
It's like sulfur. It's burning my. Oh God, it's pungent. It's.
Oh God, what is it?
You don't.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Oh God. Smells like a
meanie fart. Like a blue meanie fart.
I was gonna say a blue meanie car seat.
Yeah. Oh. We're just kidding, Blue Meanie. We can't really smell your farts from here. Well, one time I thought I did, but it was just a paper mill. Anyway, we wanted to say congratulations to you guys. Meanie, to you and Adam on 200 episodes.
Wow.
Of whatever your podcast is called.
Mind of Meanie, we went through this.
Oh, I'm sorry. 200 episodes, take 7. 200 episodes of Mind of Meanie and Show You My Weenie. It's been an episode after episode. Climactic pleasure.
Tiger King didn't have 200 episodes. That was a good show.
No.
200 episodes is the feet.
Right. If he sends pictures of his feet, yes, I will.
Adam, not Blue Meanie. Don't talk about that.
My bad.
It was one time.
So, and Meanie, if you could bottle your farts, if you could find glass strong enough, there's something to sell in those babies too. Probably to the highest bidder too of WMDs.
Out of 200 episodes, do you think there's been one that didn't have the word fart in it?
Not a chance.
Not a chance.
I mean, that might be, but
we wouldn't have it any other way, my friend.
Right. Fart away. I hope you fart for 100 more episodes at least. And for real though, congratulations, man. We always appreciate you chiming in here and having you on as a guest. I'd love to be a guest on your show one day. Hold Cassio to that, and he'll sit in for me. But congratulations to you guys, and happy holidays, I guess. I don't know when this is taped. When this is
Meanie, Adam, congratulations, guys. 200 episodes. Hopefully I remember.
You're Blue Meanie. You're Blue Meanie.
That was amazing.
Thank you to Road Dogg and Cassio Kid for reaching out. And now here's the story with that, right? They have a producer, Dominic, friend of the show, Dominic.
Yep.
And who I refer to as Dama Bowie. Instead of Baba Booey, he's Dama Bowie. I'm going to say until it catches on.
Dom A. Bowie.
Yes. Dom, I got an email the day the show drops going, oh shit, I thought I had more time. Here's the clip. And better late than never.
True.
I say thank you to Zero Dog and the Casio Kid. Dude, I love their podcast. Actually, I'm wearing one of their shirts today. The Ventura Club shirt.
Why don't you tell me?
1974. It's like their show is so good. And me watch their live streams, and we watch them over there at ad-free shows. Shout out to ad-free shows. But yeah, again, thank you, Road Dog. Thank you, Casio. And here's to 200 more. It's amazing that like my farts have become like something of a legend. That one day I'm going to have to fart in their presence just to
Yeah.
Sure, they don't want me to, but
it's required now, though. I think now that they've mentioned it on that clip, it's required. It's required reading for them, I think.
Yeah, but hopefully we're in a room where I have had the proper ammunition for that day. Hopefully it's after
fiber.
Hopefully it's after a day of me of drinking PBRs where I do the walking farts from my bedroom to the bathroom to do fat man walking music, but it's but yeah, he they were supposed to send it and it came late, so happy 201, I guess.
Yeah.
So
hey.
There we go.
Happy 201 to those who celebrate as well. So
yes, but yeah, man. You're in Florida, and I am jealous.
Yep.
And I mean, how's you're down there? Well, a little inside baseball. Well, not inside. You're down there for the Rumble.
I am. Yes, I am here for the Royal Rumble, which is as we're recording this is tonight. But as you're listening to this, was on Saturday night, so you'll know who won.
Saturday pay-per-views.
Yeah, Saturday pay-per-views are immensely better, just on a whole host of reasons. Specifically for my schedule, because coming down here and having to go on a Sunday would be the shits. But
yes.
But it's so I'm down here doing media work for. I'll show you my mic flag that I bought here, Foundation Radio, as part of the Premier Podcast Network. So I'm very official when it comes to doing my conversations on the media stuff. It's been a really wild couple of days. I got here Thursday. I got settled in. I'm in really nice Airbnb. I'm about 4 minutes away from Tropicana Field. Which is purposeful because there's also something called Gaspirilla that's going on down here today. Are you familiar with that?
No, spark me up.
It is basically the Mardi Gras of Florida, of the southern Florida area. And so I guess the WWE decided, they looked at that scheduling and went, yeah, okay, this works. So it was, apparently it's going to be a shit show down here. And I am trying to figure out what time to book my Uber so I don't get hit with like $100 Uber. But it's been great. It's been a wonderful. Yesterday was the big media day. Started at 9:00. We went over to one of the Hiltons over down on the other side of Tampa. And it was great, man. It was a wonderful day. And you can go check out the videos now. I've posted all of my conversations. I call them Foundation Chats. They're on my YouTube page. So if you go to youtube.com /Foundation Radio Pod, you'll find everything there. They're all right in a playlist. Got a chance to catch up with Kofi Kingston and Nia Jax. I saw Shayna Baszler and the Alpha Academy again, Bronson Reed. Then I had a chance to talk with the New Day, which was really cool. Got to speak to all three of them at one time. And there's a bit of a somewhat viral video going around of me now doing the World Heavyweight Champion dance with the New Day on my social media. I did not expect that. I was talking to Kofi, and somebody just started up, hey Kofi, how you doing? Nice to meet you. My name's Adam, and we get started on the recording. And I said, I'm here with former WWE champion, and he went, whoa, you can't do it like that. So we did the whole thing, and I'm a coffee guy, as you know. I'm also an energy drink guy, and it was very early. I don't sleep well when I'm away, just as also inside baseball. And so I was a little jittery that early in the morning, and I was kind of like rushing through, and he was like, "Oh man, you used to like kind of ribbing me a little bit. You rush through." And so I didn't realize that they were all going to have this opportunity to interview them at the Boys and Girls Club, which was a super cool thing that they did down here. They had a whole event and a whole presentation for a group down here for the Boys and Girls Club.
Very cool.
And so I went up and I said, Kofi, I'm hopeful that you would allow me to redeem myself after this morning's event. And so I thought it was going to be Kofi and I doing it, and then I see Xavier and Big E start doing it, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm filming this right now, and like we're all doing the hip thrusting and stuff, and they complimented me on my my looser hips as opposed to this morning, which I said thank you. I stretched
your
before
birthing hips.
My childbearing hips, yeah. I said thank you. I stretched before I came, and also I know not to dance on the one or not to clap on the ones and threes because I do, as I do have rhythm. So it was a wonderful, wonderful event, but it is slowly kind of creeping around the internet right now. So it's been. I can't
wait for the remixes, man.
Yeah.
People do.
Somebody's gonna put "Still Tippin'" by Mike Jones over it, and I'm gonna just die. It's gonna be great. So it's no, man. It's been a wonderful time. It was. And then last night there was an event down at a spot called Crowbar in Tampa with friend of the show Mega Ran, who ran this. It was very cool. AJ Francis was there, Big Swole, Max Caster, Leo Rush. It was a bunch of wrestling people, and also the kind of a wrestling and meets hip hop event. It was really cool. I met a lot of colleagues down there and a lot of people that were in the space. As we were, working through all the stuff from the morning. So it was fun. It's been a really nice time. So I guess, but Florida weather is nice. I haven't hit any humidity yet, which is good. But it's been fun so far, man. I'm really enjoying myself. So, but how are you? How's Philadelphia?
Actually, it's not too bad. We're in the 50s.
Oh, okay.
So we had that fucking snowstorm last week.
No.
And most of that's going away. It's so weird. One day it's like 10 degrees. Next is like fucking 50. It's supposed to get up to 60, which is pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're today's going to be a bum around day. I had a hectic week last week. Going to have a hectic week next week.
Oy.
I'm trying not to spoil anything. So today's going to be just like just kind of chill and have a comfortable day. We'll kick back and watch the Rumble and see how that goes. And gotta give it to WWE, man. They've made. The Rumble's always been one of the top 4 pay-per-views, but
yeah.
So now that they've moved them. Basically, they've done the WrestleMania treatment where they moved them to stadiums as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where they have Mania in the stadium, Rumble in the stadium, now SummerSlam in the stadiums. That's very cool to see where it's come from to where it's going. If you watch the first ever Royal Rumble, it looks like it looks like a glorified house show with a couple cameras set up and stuff like that, and one narrow aisleway where guys are like running into each other as they're being eliminated and coming out and stuff like that. And very interesting. And now it's this huge spectacle, just like WrestleMania, and it's so cool. And I love the concept, because wrestling's all about the element of surprise. And there's, hints of who could be, returning tonight. And we shall see. Of course, we're recording this on, Rumble morning, and debuts like 2 days after. So, we're either going to look really smart or really dumb. Well,
I was just thinking, I wanted to ask you, since we're forecasting into the future a little bit, let's pretend like we already know, because we already know who's going to win the Rumble, right? We're pretty aware, we're pretty solid on this. So I want to ask you, sort of the forecast later on. How do you feel now to see Roman Reigns challenge the immortal Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 40 after he won the Royal Rumble tonight?
Well, you know, brother.
Let me tell you something, brother.
I would say absolutely, but man, knowing the condition of his back, I can't see how he would legit have to win. He can't go over the top rope.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Iron Sheik won the gimmick battle royal at WrestleMania and WrestleMania 17. They're like, Sheik has to win. He can't go over the top rope.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that makes sense. I can see that. I know why they did that. Yeah.
Yeah, book yourself into a victory, just
honest to God.
But, I think it'll come down to at least, I think it's going to come down to, they've kind of teased that's going to come down to Punk and Cody maybe, or, dude, imagine like they have that moment where everybody's out of the ring and it's Punk and Cody and they're kind of like when they had Hogan Warrior.
Yeah.
They eliminated two people and they looked at each other and they had to stare off and the crowd just comes up and they go to, lock up and the next contestant comes in and, cock blocks the fisticuffs, I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Before they get touched, somebody runs in and then breaks it up, and there's cold water on it. So that's what I see. I either see Cody and Punk having a moment where they, everybody out of the pool except for Punk and Cody, and they have that, stare off, and they should realize they're the only two in the ring. Slowly walk towards each other, do the Hogan rocks, stare at the crowd. Mm-hmm. And then they have the countdown, and the next guy comes in and throws cold water in the whole thing, and runs in and double clotheslines them both.
Yeah,
it's like Yep. And then maybe it comes down to them being the final two at the end or something like that. But it'll be interesting. It's going to be interesting now, not knowing what the condition of Seth Rollins' knee is going to be. So.
Well, right, yeah. I mean, he's still, there's some level of injury that's still taking place here. I mean, the knee injuries are, even though it's an MCL and it wasn't, the other, what is it, the ACL? I think that right. is the more strenuous part of his leg. Excuse me. I don't know. I don't know how to call it with Seth. It sounds like he could potentially be back for Mania, but that's 3 months. You need at least 4 months to heal that knee up. And it's like, well, I don't know. And I think this is the first Rumble I feel like that I haven't been able to call it and who's going to win, right? Because there's so many different people that they've been building these stories around. You have Cody, you have Punk, you have Drew that could potentially win again. You have Gunther it's called his shot and it is now ready to lead the charge. One of the prevailing things that we were kind of talking about yesterday at some of the colleagues at the media scrum is that if Cody enters at number 1, a lot of us feel like he would then go the distance, right? Yeah. I think if Cody enters anywhere else but number 1, I don't think he's going to win. Now, again, this is us talking on Saturday. Like, it may be different by the time you hear this on Monday, but I have reservations about Cody winning again. He might do it. They may finish the story, but I could also see Punk going over and them adding that additional layer to Cody getting back to Roman by maybe doing it at the Elimination Chamber. But I just cannot call it on this one. The men's Royal Rumble is, and anything goes. I think there's only 17 people that have officially announced for the Rumble. So there's still a host of other people that can come through. I haven't seen X-Pac down here because I know that's the big rumor is that he's going to be back in the Rumble this year, but I haven't seen him, anywhere in Florida yet. So I'm excited to see if he will be here. Do you have any predictions as to maybe, obviously, we're just gaming it here, but any predictions who you might think will be a surprise entry in the Rumble this year?
It's got to be too soon for Okada, right?
Yeah, he's still under contract, I think, but maybe.
Who knows? I'm always thinking, maybe Sasha comes back for the women's Rumble.
Yeah.
There's definitely the possibility of Jade Cargill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think she'll be in the Women's Rumble. As far as men's, man, I would have said Bullet Ray, but he's on the Jericho cruise.
Right.
Because I saw him in Miami. I saw him post something in Miami. I was like, oh, what's he doing in Florida? I was like, oh, Jericho cruise. But man, there's a lot of possibilities. I'm just trying to think of who's still out there that who could, I'm sure we'll have Cena again or something like that. But some of the old faithfuls, and they're in Florida too, so it's not like you don't have a rich well to dip from, because most pro wrestlers live in Florida now. So
right.
Well, we'll see. I mean, for me, the biggest one would be if somehow Okada can, work out just a surprise appearance, work out something out with New Japan to do it. So, they know he's not coming back. So what's the point of, keeping him around or not letting him, make an appearance, in the Rumble?
Yeah.
So, dude, what if MJF shows up,
Well, again, that's they haven't said they've officially signed a new contract yet. I wouldn't be surprised, man. I mean, wrestling is in this crazy state right now. It's been interesting to be a wrestling fan right now, because I like, again, outside of the Rumble, I can't remember a time where I felt as excited to be a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
With everything happening, right? But I don't know. It's tough to say about MJF. I think he's definitely going to be heading there at some point. Yeah. I don't know if it's now, but like, for me, in my mind, I'm going, okay, well, now that's the fourth person that has left the organization, right?
Yeah.
You have Cody, Punk, who were stars, who built themselves up before they came in. But your two biggest homegrown stars, Jade and MJF, jumping ship. Like, what happened, right? Like, how was this allowed to happen? And the reporting is indicating, initially it was sounding that MJF had re-signed his contract already, but just hadn't announced. But now they're saying that potentially MJF hasn't signed a new contract and they haven't met on the money side. If I'm Hunter and I'm looking at it from a business perspective, I'm snagging him. I'm picking him up immediately. What do you want? What do you want? Because that's only going to damage their competitor, right? So that's from the business aspect. It's like, what do you want? How much money do you want? How much can I give you? What do you need to come in here to work for us? Your contract is up. It's expired. What do you want? So I know, I have some friends who work in the the gambling world, and they're saying that MJF is like, I don't know, pretty good. They're like, they have bets on whether or not he's going to show up at the Rumble this year already. So,
right.
But no, I mean,
I could definitely see him going. I mean, just where else can you see a talent publicly saying he wants to go to the WWF on a competitor's TV?
Right, right.
It's just like, it seems like a foregone conclusion, but I definitely see MJF going there. I mean, growing up in New York, WWE's a New York territory, so to speak. Back in the day when you signed with WWE, he's going to New York, so yep. Even though they're based in Connecticut, but it's definitely a possibility. And the fact that you really haven't heard anything since his last match,
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's got people, pulling for him between Cody and Punk,
Yeah.
You want a guy like MJF in the locker room, because you're going to have a great match, a great feud. He can talk. He'll have to taper himself a little bit.
Right.
Some of the stuff, but he's talented enough to where he can work anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
He can work within anybody's parameters.
I think he could. I definitely think he could make it work if he went over to WWE. I think it's MJF is the next, I think, big megastar in wrestling. Yeah. And I think he has all the features of being that megastar. I just don't know how, and I don't mean this to sound nasty, but it's like I don't know that AEW, at least right now, has the infrastructure to allow him to grow that big, right?
All right.
And again, like, that's not to say anything negative about AEW. That's not anything about it. It's just the realities of their business model and how their company works, right? It just is what it is.
Here comes the letters.
Yeah, God, here we go. Here comes the tweets again. I am not anti-AEW, people. Please stop tweeting at me. No, I'm kidding. But no, it's I absolutely want to see AEW succeed, and I absolutely want to see there be a healthy competition. But I do think if MJF jumped ship, I think that potentially could light a spark under Tony's ass to be like, okay, what do I need to do to fix? You know, instead of going on Twitter and saying all kinds of wild stuff, it's like, okay, what do I need to do to win this? You know, what do I need to do to really do this, right? How am I going to advance this product to get to their level? And I think that could potentially have huge ramifications. But MJF could work anywhere. I think there's probably, for I better shot of seeing Jade in the women's Rumble than MJF. I think, and I've long maintained that Jade is going to be the one that dethrones Rhea at some point. Either that, or they build Nia Jax up to be the one that takes the belt off of Rhea, and then it's Jade and Nia after that. But I don't know, man. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, it's so hard to call anything about this Rumble this time around. So I'm excited, and it's cool to like be at the event too. Like I know you've worked the Rumble before, which is the coolest fucking thing in the entire world. Like like amazing, right? And this will be the first time I've ever gone to a Rumble, and now hopefully I'll be sitting up top in the press box watching down as the entire thing unfolds. So it's really rad, dude. It's going to be a really rad experience. It's going to be a super exciting night. Stay tuned to socials over the next week or so and see all the content I have coming out and everything that's going on there. But I wanted to also talk to you about some Philly news that we were talking about a little bit yesterday. Rhys Hoskins has officially left the Philadelphia Phillies, and I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Oh man, what a bummer.
Yeah,
I was sitting in, my living room at Casa DeMeanie, and I was scrolling through the socials, and somebody retweeted the Milwaukee Brewers social media of, welcoming Rhys Hoskins to the Milwaukee Brewers, and I had to double check and triple check, and just, so sad to see him go. A guy who came up through the system, the Philadelphia Phillies system, to see him shine and have so many big moments, especially when the Phillies, made the playoffs, got to a World Series, and last year, he blew out his knee, in spring training, and there was hopes that, if the Phillies made it to the World Series, that he would have been able to come back and at least play in the World Series for them.
Right.
It wasn't to be, which made it even more sadder, but just to know that he's no longer with the Phillies. He signed with the Milwaukee Brewers 2 years, $34 million, I believe.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Yeah, what a fucking bummer. And pitchers and catchers report soon to where you are.
Yep.
Down in Florida. It's going to be interesting. Because, he was our first baseman for a while. He played a little bit of outfield too, but now with Bryce Harper being the new first baseman because of his arm situation, it's better, for his, he had Tommy John surgery.
I was going to say, I thought that's what it was the Tommy John. Yeah.
He had Tommy John surgery. He was a right fielder.
Yep.
And now they've converted him to first base, which was Rhys's position. And it just it sucks the way it works out. But that's the nature of the business. I mean, we're talking about like how MJF's going to go from possibly go from AEW to WWE, and that's how sports works too. And he kind of knew Rhys was going, and it's just going to be. It's sad to see him go, but there's still hope that like once his deal is up with Milwaukee, that somehow miraculously he can figure a way back to come back to the Phillies.
Yeah.
Maybe play outfield or something like that, like he had done before. So who knows? This is a championship weekend in NFL. NFL is going to be wrapping up soon, and soon it's going to be baseball season.
Can't fucking wait. I literally can't wait for baseball season to start.
Yeah, there's something magical about baseball season because it's long. It's during the summer. You don't have to watch every pitch, but you can have it. Like sometimes I'll put on baseball and just have it on in the background.
Exactly. We put it on while we're cleaning the house, or you know what I mean, like some those spring days that are super nice. It's like 70-something degrees. You finally crack the windows open. You put baseball on the TV. Like, what's fucking better than that? Nothing. The answer's nothing.
Fucking bust out the grill, and Mrs. Meanie starts grilling, and I put the radio broadcast on.
Yes, dude.
Dude, there was something magical about being a kid, being a Phillies fan.
Yes.
You could walk down the street anywhere, and everybody would have their windows open, and you hear Harry Callis talking, through the windows. People always had Harry Callis on the radio. And now, the announced team they have got going right now is pretty good. The Phillies been very fortunate to have really, really, really good announcers.
Yes, absolutely.
You got Fransky and you got Fransky on the radio, and then you got Tom McCarthy on TV, and it's so good, so good. It's weird because like you'll watch, radio feeds, or you hear play-by-play from either national or another team's feed, and it's just not the same.
Mm-mm.
And I'm just like, man, we're so blessed to have great announcers here in Philly for baseball and football. We got Merrill and Mike.
So what a combination too. Like there's it, and I know we've talked about this about Merrill and Ike. We talk about them because they're great, they're amazing, and it's just like, but until you experience that live energy from them, there's something that is just next level when you have that running while you're watching. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, it's so uniquely Philadelphia, but like it translates to the entire country, and it's just so dope. So great.
And they also we also have like former players. We have Larry Anderson doing the radio with Scott Fransky. On TV with Tom McCarthy, we have John Kruk, who best thing about Kruk is he's a wrestling fan, and he's like, man, I hope this game ends soon. I got SmackDown on the DVR back at home, or he's going to be on his glory in the WrestleMania weekend. So.
Oh my God, I hope we run into him. I hope we can find a way for him to show up at Meanie Mania. I will lug every piece of equipment that I own that we record with down to the fucking bar. I have an extra microphone, and I will bring all that. So, Crucker, if you're listening, which I know you are, sir, fan of the show, friend of the show, please join us for Meanie Mania at McCusker's for WrestleMania weekend. It would be an honor and a privilege, sir. So, just put it out there.
Absolutely, man. He follows me, and we've interacted here and there, so. If I finally got the poster art for Meanie Mania. Ooh. So once I start posting that, and maybe I'll tag him in it. Yeah. See if he sees it, see if he wants. Hey, it's right near the ballpark. But then again, he might be in Florida doing spring training. Who knows? But
we could remote him in. Well, we have our ways.
We can coax him.
That's right, yeah. The meme of that kid or the gif of the kid who's going like this and he's jumping up and down? That's what I'll reply to him with that.
How do you bring that up? What is that from? Like, I wish there was a show where they would do the origins of of GIFs and memes?
I actually don't know. I believe it was from some kind of sports game, but I don't know which one. There's one I send to Mrs. Goober all the time. It's this little heavy set kid who is going like this. And you can watch this at patreon.com/mindofthemeanie if you want to see what I'm doing. But he kind of is like giving the hot eyes and he does the eyebrows up and down, And I send that to Mrs. Goober all the time and she hates it, but I love it. And she, that kid it was like a baseball game. And the camera people were focusing on him and his mom. And I guess he realized he was on the camera and he was like, he was looking straight at the game, but then he looked at the camera and he would go like this, right? So then they would put it back on the game and they'd cut back to him and he'd be looking at him again and he was just like locked eyes at the camera, right? This went on for like 4 or 5 minutes where they were like cutting back and forth between a game and this kid and he's making all these faces and then he was just like, and it was just like, it became an internet thing and I'm like, this is the best shit I've ever seen. So I believe it was some sports game that he was jumping up and down at. So, Schlichter just said, what up, Schlichter?
Schlichter!
That the Philadelphia Phillies are in Washington on April 6th.
Nice.
Which means, Crucky bye.
So you're saying there's a chance.
That's right. Crucker does typically not do road games, so there's hope. Hot dog! Let's fucking go.
Hot dog and a handshake.
Meanie, Goober, and Crucker on one episode. Yes. It's going to fuck. That's going to be the name of the episode, too. Meanie, Goober, and Crucker. So.
Yeah. Drink a beer. Let's. Drink a beer. I want to. That's the episode.
With the 3 heads sitting at the bar drinking a beer. I love it. Yep, that's the episode.
Meanie.
What's that, Adam?
We hear this a lot. Every CBD company tells you that their product is the best. With quality control measures like lab testing and QR codes now becoming the standard, it can start to seem like all CBD brands are the same, but I'm here to tell you something, Meanie. They are not. Knowing what makes certain brands better will help you spend your money more wisely and have more confidence as you incorporate CBD oils, topicals, capsules, or gummies into your own wellness routine. And that's why we're proud to partner with Green Road CBD as an official sponsor of Mind of the Meanie. And Meanie, I know you're a longtime user of Green Road CBD. How has Green Road CBD helped you in your life?
Let me tell you, Green Road CBD is a product I've been using for years. And when we started Mind of the Meanie, I always was like, let's get Green Roads as a sponsor because I use them almost daily. Whether it's the gummies, to take care of the aches and pains of 30 years of wrestling, the topical solutions that help my knees, help my back, help my elbows, help my shoulders. Green Road CBD has done everything to help me maintain a pain-free existence from all the years of wear and tear as a professional wrestler.
And to me, Meanie, that sounds like the Green Road's difference. And it comes down to a really few important points. They're just part of the reason that they've won industry awards year after year, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and have heard countless stories from customers just like you about the impact that those products have had on your life. So Green Roads is led by a compounding pharmacist with 25 years of experience helping her community getting healthy. For her and the entire company, it's more than just a job, it's a mission. And not all hemp sourcing is equal, Meanie. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. But they select their hemp from high-quality American farms, and also not all lab testing is equal, which is why they use an accredited independent lab to conduct full panel tests on every single batch. And that's why Green Roads is an original manufacturer, not just a quote-unquote white label brand. So right now, you can go to greenroads.com, Meanie, and save 25% off of your entire purchase. Wow. 25% off of everything, Meanie. That's huge. And all you have to do is go to their website right now, greenroads.com, and use promo code MEANIE at checkout. It's 25% off your entire purchase by using promo code MEANIE at greenroads.com. Own the day with Green Road CBD, and we thank them for sponsoring the program.
No, let's give a shout out to our. We'll get back to. Let's give a shout out to our. We got a lively chat here.
We sure do.
The Pod Squad here at patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. We got Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa. We got Nate Smythe. We got Schlichter. We just Scroll. We got Lucha. How do you spell his last name?
I think it's Lechoso, if I recall correctly.
Okay. Yeah, you're smarter. So.
That's relative. But no, it's a great group every single week. Like, if you're not here in the Patreon group, like you should be, because this is a lot of fun. It's not just watching our beautiful faces record every week. It's interactive. We have a great group of people here. You have access to us early every single week. And you also get the video clips, which I'm going to upload the video clip of Road Dogg and Cassio Kid after this episode's done. And that way you'll get to see the video, and you won't get to see that anywhere else except for in our Patreon group. So patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Go sign up today. There's videos from Rob Van Dam that are up there. We're also going to upload, this one that Road Dogg sent over. So go.
Midian sent one in too.
Midian sent one over to us.
He sent one in, but he sent a video clip in.
Yep. We also have Bill Alfonso's video as well. So if you don't want to miss any of this stuff, we've been here for 200 episodes. We're planning on being here for at least 250,000 more. So I think the math lines up on that, Meanie. I'm not sure. I believe that works out as far as 250,000. It's funny. I'm trying to think about that now. If we did an episode every week.
Yes.
For the next 250,000 weeks.
Right.
Let's do the quick math on that. Someone is going to fact check me in the Patreon group. 250,000 divided by 52. So we would be doing shows for the next 4,807 years, approximately, which I think is possible. With the advances of modern technology and science, we could easily live into the 200s, and then AI technology after that. We could sign over our voices to a Japanese company if we wanted to, and they could create us. And then it would be, they could listen to us forever, Definitely wouldn't be creepy. It wouldn't be weird.
Speaking of AI, our buddies over at Dudesy got into a little bit of a legal pickle. Mm-hmm. Because they did they had an AI George Carlin comedy special.
Yeah.
Which at the beginning of the special clearly says, this is not George Carlin. This is an impression of George Carlin. Says it right up front. So George Carlin's daughter, Kelly Carlin, has come out against what they did.
Yep.
Understandably so, or respectfully so. She does a lot of good stuff within the comedy world. She with the National Comedy Museum in upstate New York, which I've gone to, and it's fantastic. They have a room dedicated to George Carlin. George Carlin, one of my biggest influences. Him, Eddie Van Halen, and then wrestling as a whole. Yeah, was my big three growing up. Was I loved wrestling, I loved rock and roll, I loved stand up comedy. So it came out yesterday that. Kelly, the George Carlin estate, Kelly Carlin's going to be launched a lawsuit versus Dudesy. So,
no.
So it's like, just like wrestling. I hate when two things I love are at odds with each other.
Oh, man.
Like in wrestling, I could be friends with wrestler A and wrestler B. Wrestler A can like me, wrestler B can like me, but A and B hate each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's that kind of situation where I love Dudesy, I love George Carlin. I have no problem with the comedy special because to me it's parody. It's to me it's right up there where somebody doing an impression like Rich Little. Rich Little. Yep. When I was a kid, Rich Little was like a well-known impersonation. But I also see Kelly's thing of wanting to preserve her dad's legacy. So, and this is like the second time Dudesy's kind of gotten in trouble because they had a 1 hour comedy special with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
They called It's So Easy, which if you listen to it, it was pretty good. That was freaky scary as well. And just to hear, Tom Brady tell like filthy jokes was pretty cool. But
I didn't know Kelly had started up a lawsuit. Now, is it an actual physical lawsuit or is it a cease and desist?
They're Yeah, there was no straight up lawsuit. It was announced yesterday, Friday.
Oh, man.
So I was just like, oh, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
It does. And, I hate seeing how, I'm repeating myself, but I hate seeing two, things I like, two groups of people I like, at odds with each other. So we'll see what's your take on AI and, the George Carlin stuff?
On the George Carlin thing, man, it's weird. It was weird for me to listen to that. Because even though I knew it was an impression, and even though I was aware that it was not really him, it's still should we be doing this? And I know, like I said, when we talked about Will and Chad with it, and it was just you could see that they were both visibly uncomfortable with it as well. That was the other thing that got me, right? It was you could see their discomfort in the conversation and in the approach of it. AI is difficult, man, because again, I'll give you an example. So recently, we're actually, I guess it's been going on 11 or 12 years now. One of my best friends, Scott, he passed away in 2012. He made music. His rap name was Sparks. And when he died, we had a bunch of these songs and features that he had put together that were just there. And we were putting together a record, and we ended up calling it The Vault, which was a bunch of his stuff and a bunch of different people that we worked with. It was this big collaborative project. And I finally put it on streaming services about a year and a half ago. So just to get it out, because I was it was kind of stuck on SoundCloud, and I wanted to kind of just get it out there, right? And so I got hit with a couple of copyright strikes, which I didn't realize that not everything was sample free or, royalty free or anything like that. And so the one producer and I in Richmond, who does some of the musical accompaniment on the show for our ad reads, actually both ad reads in Richmond does those beats. And we were all right, well, let's figure out how we're going to make this work, because we don't want to not have Scott's music out there for people, our friends and people who want to discover it. But also, we want to figure out how we're not going to get pinched again. So Rich found some AI software that basically separated the lyrics from the music itself. And then could even, he threw some old 70s record into this thing. And it separated out the drums, and then it soloed out the bass guitar and then the guitar itself. And it was the craziest thing I've ever heard, but it was flawlessly pulled apart. So we weren't necessarily, we took some of Scott's songs that got hit with the copyright strikes, and we put them in this AI, and it extracted his vocals completely. And we were oh shit. So now we're able to recreate a new sound out of something that existed before without changing the fundamental integrity of what he did, right? We're not putting words in his mouth. We're literally using what he recorded in 2002, 22 years ago. We're now putting this onto a new beat and creating something magic out of it. And so I think for those reasons, the same thing with the Beatles record, right? They were finally able to utilize an incredible piece of technology to essentially finish an unfinished Beatles record without making John Lennon say anything. Yeah. And I think it's complicated. There's stuff going on about Taylor Swift now too, with some disgusting AI images that were posted about her. And she's currently working on, potential legal ramifications for that as well, as she rightfully should. Yes. And I think there's a drawback to this kind of stuff. While it could be used to help hear John Lennon or to hear Sparks in a new way, there's also opportunities for all intents and purposes, fucking weirdos to make weird shit like this. Yeah. And I think for me, that's the scary part of it. But I do also think that there's a potential for it to be really cool. And just like all technologies, right? All technologies can be great. All technologies can be shit. It's just a matter of where it meets. Yes. I'm disappointed, but understanding as to why Kelly filed the lawsuit. Like, I get it, but it's also like you said, it's like, oh, that sucks for those guys, because I'm sure they did that and didn't think they were going to get sued by the Carlin estate, but now they're entangled in this whole thing, and it sucks. It's a shitty situation.
I made the mistake of going through the comments, when they're talking about the lawsuit, and people are like, oh, copyright lawsuit, this, that, and the other thing. I was like, well, you can't really do a copyright strike because they didn't use any of his written material. It was all just like a parody. It was just a parody of, what would George Carlin say now? And it's going to be interesting. This is going to be a historic lawsuit, I think, when it comes to AI.
Oh, so, you know what? I didn't even think about the precedent that this could set, too. You're right. It could. It absolutely could. If it gets up to, like, the Supreme Court level, which it could if they... I mean, I can't... Well, to be clear, like, I can't imagine that Will and Chad would fight it all the way up to the Supreme Court, but realistically, it could set tone and tenor for additional litigation that comes down from that. Fuck, man, that's part of the history books now. Like, like over an AI bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and they didn't profit off of it because they put it out for free.
Yeah.
On YouTube. So, because they have a Patreon too. So they showed like maybe 2 seconds on the show, but it was released as its own entity where there was, it was, they didn't put it on their Patreon where they could have potentially profited from it. So there's no, profiting from it, and there's no copyright because it's not any of George's original written work. So this is going to be a interesting legal thing to follow.
I think the only thing that I can think of that may have some legal precedent. Lucha just says 7 words AI can't say. Well,
I've heard that too.
It just caught us on. I was like, I got to say this.
And shout out to Machete Von Kill saying at least they didn't do AI George Carlin porn. To which I say, yuck. Yucky ducky, as my kids would say. The only thing that I can think of would be the fact that they said that they inputted all of his material. They used, you know what I'm saying? So like there's or the AI dudesy itself said that they listened to all of George's material. Yeah.
Theoretically speaking, from a legal perspective, now I don't know the ins and outs. To be clear, everyone, I am not an attorney. This is just information that I've learned over the course of my life. So
neither of us are.
Neither of us are giving legal advice. We're just talking about this. So just want to be clear. However, there's no legal precedent when it comes to an AI case like this, right? So the discussion then becomes, is it copyright infringement because of the fact that the AI generating machine said, I listened to George Carlin's material and I created an entirely new impression of him.
Right.
From a legal perspective, there's an argument to be made that that is now copyright infringement, or, I should say copyright infringement at the very least, or I should say at least would be plagiarism. At the very worst, it could potentially be copyright infringement for his written and recorded material. Because then you have things like HBO would have to get involved in that, and any of the people who own parts of all, like there's all these different mechanisms and things. So then what's their legal liability or culpability in regards to HBO or in regards to any of the other, platforms that own his material or anyone else he worked with? But I do agree. Now that you said that, like I will be watching this very closely, and it also in tandem with the Taylor Swift controversy and the stuff that she's going to be doing, because then that could set another precedent when it comes to imagery, because that's been a big thing too, is the deep fakes and all this bullshit with all these weird people doing nude photos of, like, it's disgusting, and it's like there's got to be a line to it somewhere. So
The scary part is somebody using AI or a deep fake, and it leads to a war where like somebody makes it, somebody puts it on the TV. No, imagine being in North Korea. They have this AI generated thing, and they show it to the people in North Korea who are totally brainwashed, and they believe that they're going to war and stuff like that, and you could justify doing something based on an AI deep fake or something like that. It could be used for something really bad.
Meanie.
Yes, sir.
Fantasy football champs as well. Our friends at Manscaped want to congratulate you on making it to the 2024 playoffs. As for the rest, well, the fantasy gods have spoken, and it's time to shave off that didn't make the cut playoff beard. No more hiding behind facial hair. Embrace the clean slate with Manscaped's Beard Hedger, because nothing should be as unruly as your failed trade strategies. Embrace victory and join the 10 million men who trust Manscaped with our special offer. Go to manscaped.com and use promo code MindMeanie for 20% off and plus free shipping. Meanie, I want to ask you about your first impressions of the Beard Hedger and how it's helped keep the Meanie beard looking fresh and spotless.
The Beard Hedger has been a game changer. I'm known worldwide for this beard, and the Beard Hedger helps me keep it neat, keep it clean. I got my own custom settings for the guard, so I could get the same exact cut each and every time. I love the Beard Hedger, and I don't know where my life has been without it.
And I know that I have enjoyed it very well. Keeps the goober beard looking nice and tight here as well in between my visits to the barbershop. So gentlemen, tidy up your act with a clean shave before you draft your way to redemption next season. Manscaped is the ultimate franchise player to take your face to the end zone with the new Beard Hedger Pro Kit. This package has made it easier than ever to craft your signature look and is a premium beard sculpting machine. It features the Beard Hedger cordless trimmer. It has one guard with 20 different lengths, 20 Meanie, and it's waterproof. That's right, no more drawers full of 20 different guards. Shower shave as much as your heart desires. Don't just shave, indulge in the liquid luxury. Our kit includes specially crafted formulations to keep your beard looking brilliant. And lastly, Meanie, as a bonus, Manscaped has thrown in a beard accessory pack that comes with the beard brush, beard comb, and beard scissors for the finishing touches every modern bearded gentleman deserves. So get 20% off plus free shipping by using our promo code MindMeanie at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com and use promo code MindMeanie. Get ready for fantasy football off-season like a true grooming champion with the Beard Hedger Pro Kit. You're not just shaping your beard, you're crafting a winning look. Manscaped.com. Use promo code MindMeanie, and we want to thank them, as always, for sponsoring the program.
It's wild. I mean, like I said, last point on it, it's like, we were talking about like the AI voices, and we don't talk about politics here, but like there was a news story that just came out the other day that Democratic voters were getting robocalls from an AI generated Joe Biden voice. So that stuff, and telling them not to come out to the voting booth for the primaries and not to vote for any Democrats, and it's just like, that stuff is already starting. And while in your head, you're like, oh, I can't imagine that I would actually, if I got a phone call like that I would actually believe that, Joe Biden was calling me not to vote for him. You know what I mean? Like, there are people who are not, like, I mean, if I get a phone call from a political candidate.
There are people who are not tech savvy.
Right. There's people who don't have those mechanisms that that aren't able to translate the fact that it's not Joe Biden or Donald Trump on the phone. And it's going to get crazy. So
yeah.
I appreciate you saying that, because it's like I didn't even think of that part of it. And now that you brought it, it's like, oh fuck, man, this is huge. This could potentially have huge ramifications for the industry as well.
I wish people would learn the art. Well, not the art. I wish people would learn how to take pause.
Yeah.
When it comes to reacting to things, because people are just ready to be outraged, at the drop of a hat. And there's been plenty of times in my life I've seen something and gotten outraged and talked about it, and then gone and turn out. I put all this energy in being outraged about something, and it turns out the thing's bullshit. Just like, oh, what the fuck, That's why when I hear something now, I just sit here and go, all right, let's let this play out.
Yep.
Because I've been burned too many times with, something that you only get one side of a thing, and it's, it's the nature of the being human. You react to things, but the people, I wish people could learn patience and just wait for, something to, play out. And that's where we're going to have to go with this AI stuff, because there's going to be stuff that's going to come out and people are going to think it's real. Mm-hmm. And you're going to have to reel yourself in and go, okay, is this real or is this Memorex? I'm old enough to remember that ad.
I understood that reference, though. Yes, real or Memorex. Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Speaking of things that we're waiting to play out, Blue, if I may call you Blue, friend of the show, Dave LaGreca, who calls you Blue. I have a question for you, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to.
It's time to ask Meanie anything.
Ask me something.
Don't forget, tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them asked on the program each and every week here. This is our favorite segment.
Favorite episode. My favorite. My favorite feature on the show.
Uh-huh. We got our seltzers here today. I DoorDashed some shit to myself because I knew I was going to forget, and I didn't want to because you can't take it on the plane. I can't take it on a plane. So I have some Zevia grape, which is my favorite Zevia flavor. Meanie's got his old trusty sidekick there.
I'm going to be drinking pumpkin pie well into... I'll be watching Phillies game drinking this fucking pumpkin pie seltzer. Meanie, it's April, and you're drinking pumpkin pie seltzer. Yeah, that shit was 79 cents a case, motherfucker.
And also too, mind your fucking business, okay? I'll do what I want. Yeah. I'll do what I fucking want.
As Mama Meanie would say, mind your beeswax.
That is the best. That is the best way to put it. I'm gonna crack this here in 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah. It doesn't have the same panache as it does when I have my microphone in front of me, but it works. Oh, God, it's so good. Pinky's up.
It's quite pungent.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie. That smells like pure gasoline.
As I just poured half the can down my fucking tits.
Right all over my boobies. So we're going to start with a question. Yes, it's all over my boobies.
Speaking of boobs. Was watching the Buffalo Bill Kansas City Chiefs game, and J.C. Kelsey was in the box, and when his brother Travis scored a touchdown, he was shirtless and hanging out the window going, yeah, cheering for his brother. and later they showed a text from the Kelsey's babysitter who were watching their kids. The babysitter tweeted either Kelsey's mom or wife saying that their daughter was at home going, Dad's boobs are showing. The cutest fucking thing ever.
Listen, you may not like it, but this is what the peak male body looks like. Okay, this is peak male performance at its finest. So,
what is it? Yukon Cornelius or
yeah,
from Frosty the Snowman?
Yes. Yep. That's the best designator for him. So Schlichter, I'm going to go ahead and ask this question, and we're going to just kind of tap it very lightly here and give you our just answer it very briefly. Schlichter wants to know, do we dare touch on the recent resignations that happened in WWE and TKO? Short answer, no.
Right.
Long answer.
I will refer to what I just said about AI and say, let's hear the whole story, and I'll leave it at that.
I'll say this. We're not it's illegal. It's a pressing legal matter is where we're at. And It's a current legal matter, and it's actively in the legal state, and we're just not prepared to talk about that kind of stuff.
Look, if I was about hot takes and clicks, and
right,
I could say the wildest thing, and to get people, I don't want that attention. I just want to. I know as much as all of you guys know, so I'm sitting here waiting for everything to unfold. So we'll leave it at that.
And we'll pop it at that. Nate Smythe, Sheridan Ford Sales wants to know, Meanie and Adam, Scrapple, yes or no?
I will start that off with fuck yes.
Every day, all day.
Slightly burnt to a crisp with a egg over easy on top of it.
Woo.
You break that fucking yolk open.
Hot in here.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. I'm bottom nude.
Woo, man, I just went from 6 to midnight.
It's either quarter after 3 or Mickey has a hard on. To quote George Carlin.
My favorite way to eat Scrapple is to deep fry it, actually. Working in a deli, you just drop that shit in a deep fryer for a couple minutes, man. It's nice and crispy on the outside, and it's still soft, but not like mushy on the inside, and it's cooked fully all the way through. Mwah! Madon. Such good shit.
I love Scrapple, but it is the part of the pig they thought was too disgusting for hot dogs.
Yes.
But
everything but the oink is what they call it. So
yeah. But fuck yes.
Yeah, dude, all day. There's a great spot called the Market Street Grill in Westchester.
Okay.
It is fabulous place. Go and check them out. Shout out to Christian Greco, who's the owner of the place. Fabulous place. They have something called the Telly, which is my usual go-to breakfast when I'm in town over in Westchester. And it's a bunch of scrambled eggs and green peppers and onions with a big piece of fucking Scrapple on the top of it and their specialty andouille sausage gravy. My blessed brother in Christ, when I tell you, it is the best fucking thing I've ever eaten in my life. Throw some hot sauce on that bitch. We are in business.
I might
Delicious.
have to make a trip.
When you come through, I will take you over there. It is unbelievable. I know, like, as soon as I get home, Courtney and I are Mrs. Goober and I are gonna hang out. We're gonna get breakfast. I already know what I'm gonna get. I'm like, I have it ready on the DoorDash app. So you should definitely try that. Schlichter has another question here. Speaking of Pennsylvania Dutch adjacent foods, I love the reference, pal. PA Dutch, all day represent. Adjacent food like Scrapple. Do you guys know of or like shoe fly pie?
Excuse me. That's me making room for shoe fly pie. I do like shoe fly pie. Yeah, you definitely get that out towards Lancaster area where the Amish are, and yeah, big fan of that. A little dry, but pretty good. Look, it would have to really be repugnant for me to turn down some kind of pie,
Yeah.
Pecan pie, which was my mom's favorite. Pumpkin pie, coconut cream pie. I sound like fucking Bubba Gump over here. Coconut cream pie, pumpkin pie, cherry pie, apple pie. Fucking tasty cake with their Dutch apple fucking pie.
Now you're speaking my language, brother.
Put some fucking ice cream over that.
Woo. Throw that shit in the fucking microwave for a little bit, get it warmed up, man, and then so good.
I have to show some love. I have a friend named Greg Greenland.
Did you hear that slam? That was me. Getting excited.
Did you hear the table raise? Pardon me, do you need to change a tire? They say Viagra is 1 part aspirin, 2 part Fix-A-Flat.
Oh my God.
But yeah, shout out to my boy Greg Erdland. If you're from the Philly, Maryland, New York area, he's like a fan who's basically one of the boys. He snuck his way into a couple WWF skits backstage. You know, hey, what are you doing? Come here. But every time we go to like a Denny's or something, he'll go, I'd like to get a piece of chocolate cake. Microwave it. Please microwave it for 30 seconds and a scoop of vanilla ice cream. So when you said put it in the microwave, I thought of Greg immediately because that's like a running joke between me and Mrs. Meanie because we rib Greg on the square about that. He's a great dude, but you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but shoe fly pie, yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, he says, I need a sloppy wet bottom. There are two kinds of shoe fly pie: the full cake-like version, or the wet bottom, which I have not tried, but I'm all down for eating some wet bottom. So,
Wet bottoms sound like a good time. Let's see. Justin Bartz wants to know.
looking like Hooch from Turner and Hooch.
Like groceries. So here we go. Justin Bartz wants to know. How many ballparks? Carl's going to be like, Jesus Christ, you guys are awful. How many ballparks have you been to? Which ones are at the top of your list that you haven't seen yet?
Oh, man. I think I've only been to 3, and 2 of them were in Philly, the Vet and Citizens Bank Park. The other ballpark I've been to is Fenway. I was up in Fenway working, and my buddy's like, I got, Red Sox tickets. And I went to see the Red Sox versus the A's at Fenway. And that was a cool experience. And then we went to a bar afterwards, and they wouldn't let me wear my hat. So I was like, fuck this place. As far as like places I want to go, how many historic ones are left?
Camden Yards, I think, is one of the only ones left, right?
I probably would need to go to Camden Yards.
Mm-hmm.
It's Yankee Stadium. The real Yankee Stadium doesn't exist anymore. I want to go to Wrigley Field. I'd love to go to Wrigley.
Yeah.
Even though I've been told it's a lot different on the inside than it used to be. They've made it over quite a bit. But still, just to go there, I'd love to go to Wrigley and see a game. I would like to visit like the more historic ballparks and stuff like that.
That's kind of where I'm at too. Obviously, the Vet and Citizens Bank Park. I've also been to Fenway as well. I think those are my 2 answers, though. With as far as Camden Yards and Wrigley Field, I think those are the only 2. I've been to Yankee Stadium, the new one, but I didn't go there for baseball. Jay-Z and Eminem were doing their concert series at Yankee Stadium in 2010. So beautiful ballpark. I mean, it was beautiful, but it wasn't for baseball purposes. So
what's funny is the first time I went to the Vet was for a wrestling show and not baseball. I went to the Great American Bash in '86 at Veterans Stadium.
Oh, that's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the security was kind enough to let me go up and, take a photo next to the ring and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome, man.
Splichter chimes in and says, third oldest stadium now is Dodger Stadium, which I would like to go to as well. Thank you for reminding me, because my biggest fear is going to say such and such park, and they're like, oh, it doesn't exist anymore. And I go, I'm stupid.
That's why I said that too when I went about Camden Yards. I was like, is it still operational? I don't even know. But Dodger Stadium would be a cool one to go to as well. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Let's see. RJ Krasinski. What's up, RJ? What's going on, dude? What it is, man. Thank you for your questions as always.
Check out his podcast, Reffing It Up.
Reffing It Up. They got an anniversary coming up too.
Yeah.
We'll have
anniversary.
Make sure. It's a year, I think, right? Is it a year?
Yeah.
Awesome. Good for them.
A year or it's a year or 100 episodes. I'm not sure.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Either way, that's a feat.
Yeah. And keep it up, guys. What are
Because I got
your
to
thoughts?
say,
Oh, sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I got to say, yeah, don't people think podcasting is easy. It's fucking hard, especially when, like, thank God for Adam's gift to gab, because there's some days where I have absolutely nothing in the tank. And then, like, he'll sometimes Adam will carry the fucking load for me.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was
song, is it Grateful fucking Dead song? Put the load on Fanny or something like that.
Take a load off Fanny. Yep.
Take a load off Meanie.
I was sitting here this morning, full disclosure, like I had talked so much yesterday. I was like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about today? And it's just, like I said, with us and our dynamic, it just is, it feels like it just is so easy to like, just go into something, right? Like I said, you've heard us say it here before on the show. Like, we don't plan ahead for any topics unless it's like a major thing. We typically are like, oh, we'll talk about this, or we want to make sure we bring it up. But otherwise, it's a lot of just free flowing stuff, and I feel like that's made the difference for us, because we're not set to any format. We're not set to any specific thing. Even when we had Al on, we didn't have any specific goals in mind. It was just like, hey, let's bullshit with Al. Like, that's and that's what we do. And I think that's the best part of doing this show.
Yes.
But yes, RJ wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Pro Bowl format?
It's better than what it was. I guess they do like a lot of skills competitions. The Pro Bowl would be a thing where they'd have a game.
Yeah.
Wait, nobody's really tackling, and nobody's really trying to break up a pass, because they don't want to get injured and spend their whole off season imagine you go to the Pro Bowl, your season's over, you're at the Pro Bowl, and you blow your knee out in the fucking Pro Bowl,
right,
and then you're fucked for the whole next season. So now they do a bunch of skills competitions, which is cool, kind of like hockey, and they do flag football, I believe, which is it's cool. A little bit more competitive, a lot more safer. So I dig it. It's better than what it was, which was basically touch football. And here's the thing that leads into the whole said NFL will work. It's like, when I was a younger kid, I had no idea that they weren't really trying to hit each other at the Pro Bowl. I was like, oh wow,
yeah.
I went to a boxing exhibition and exhibition, and I had no idea that they weren't really trying to fight. They were just sparring around, and then like somebody threw a fucking potato, and everybody went, "Oh!" I was like, "Oh!" So they're really not trying to but they had me fooled, But yeah, the Pro Bowl format now, I dig it. I dig it. It's better, way better than what it was, which is basically just patty cake.
Last question for today. It's a Rumble-themed question, Meanie. Charlie Carter wants to know, Meanie, what is your favorite Royal Rumble memory?
Oh, I mean, as a fan, Mania 92 was the best Rumble to me. Because, that was like the murderer's row of rosters,
Yeah, dude. Sure was.
Just that whole Rumble. That whole 92 Rumble is perfect. The chef's kiss, so to speak. Personally, when I was in the Rumble, and I've shared this on social media, I was in the corner and Droz and Edge were trying to eliminate me. And if you watch closely, I reach over and I tickle both Droz and Edge. Or tickle, and you see them drop me and put me away. Because I just tickle. Yeah, if I'm in a battle royal, I'll tickle somebody or I'll reach up and yank on their armpit hair just to fuck with them. Just like if I'm in a match, somebody throws me in the head scissors and I'm laying there selling, I'll reach up and I'll pluck out a leg hair just to make them go, just to fuck with them.
That's hilarious, man.
But,
That's such good shit.
As a fan, that 92 Rumble.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. just look at the roster, and then personally being in the Rumble, and then having a spot with, Viscera, where it's a spot I've done before, where you attack somebody from behind, they no sell it, hit, and I just go fuck it. I put his hands on me and tell him to throw me out.
Is that, just refresh me? That's who eliminated you from the Rumble, right? Was Viscera?
Yeah, Viscera.
Yeah,
Viscera. And they kind of missed it, I grabbed both hands. I put one on my back of my shirt and back on my pants. I went, throw me out, and he throws me out, and the crowd pops. And
that's good, dude. That's cool. It's a good memory. And what else is good shit, friends? Is you listening to the show every week and sending in your questions. We really appreciate you being a part of the show. So don't forget, like we said, tweet your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, even when you're not listening to the show, because we will still see them, and then we will ask them on the air. So, Blue, I want to thank you for your patronage as always, sir. Thank you for your time as always. Thank you to the Pod Squad as well. But, Meanie, I want everyone to know where they can keep up with all things Blue when they're not listening to us here.
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, that's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. That's at Blue Meanie BWO. That's at Blue Meanie BWO on all forms of social media. Thursday, April 4th, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. It's Meanie Mania, the party at McCusker's on the corners of 17th and Shunk in South Philadelphia. Let this be the kickoff to your WrestleMania week. I'm hoping to get wrestling fans from all over the country, all over the world, come hang out at my favorite bar on the planet and kick off your WrestleMania week in one of my favorite bars in South Philly. So that's Thursday, April 4th, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Hey, SmackDown, McCuskers, Hall of Fame, McCuskers, WrestleMania, McCuskers, Raw, McCuskers. McCuskers is your spot to go to all weekend. If you would like to support the Blue Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Blue Meanie. If you would like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Colin Elbow, the wrestling brand, go to colinelbowbrand.com, use coupon code Meanie, or use coupon code MIND and save 10% over there at colinelbowbrand.com. Now that you got your shirts looking good and you're a bearded fellow like myself, you want to look good and smell good. So go to madcatbeardcare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil Herb Balm. Shout out to my boy Josh Thornton, who's doing an amazing job over there. He rounds up all the cats in his neighborhood. He takes them to the vet. He takes them to get fixed up, and he sends them off better, happier, and healthier than he found them. So if you love a cat lover like myself, go to madcatbeardcare.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles in 2024. Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters created by the amazing Hal Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others I'm trying not to spoil. Go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter. Yes, it's still Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com or UPW Video Game on Twitter. I am lobbying hard for them to put in the Philadelphia Spectrum. We'll see if the lobbies come to fruition, but we'll see.
Please.
Also, I was like, hey, man, they had wrestling at Veterans Stadium, too. I'm just saying, so we'll see what happens. The Figure Collections Bone Crushing Wrestler Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available now, but not for long. All Series 1s can be ordered right now at shop.figurescollections.com. That's shop.figurescollections.com. You can get the old school Blue Meanie or the BWO Blue Meanie. Either way, there's no bad choices. Shout out to Jim Nilsson over at glaciersofIce.com. Jim made a 3 of 3 only handmade custom BWO Air Jordan 1 sneakers for Stevie, Nova, and myself. Each pair takes Jim about 50 hours per pair. So follow Jim on all forms of social media at GOI Kicks. That's at GOI Kicks. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's PODSTARZ.net. register your podcast, and then book the blue guy for your podcast over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/BlueMeanieBWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Book through the site, not through the app, because the app takes too much money. Over there at Cameo.com/BlueMeanieBWO. Let's make somebody's day a little bit happier and brighter through Cameo.com/BlueMeanieBWO. Again, book through the site and not through the app. But most importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you, sir?
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. You can follow me there and keep up to date with all my Royal Rumble coverage this weekend. And going forward, you can check it out there. You can also check out my other show, Foundation Radio, at foundationradio.net. I'll be airing at some point coming up this week all of the audio from the interviews, including Kofi Kingston, Nia Jax, the Alpha Academy, and more. Foundationradio.net. You can find them both at the Premier Podcast Network. You can listen to all of us there and check out all the other great shows that are on the network with us. BrothersGaddor.com. Go and pick up your official Adam Barnard Wrestle Buddy. There are only, I believe the last time I checked, there are only 4 remaining left out of the limited run of 25. So I want to say thank you to everyone who's bought one and picked one up. Hopefully you're not using it as a voodoo doll, because that's not the purpose of it. And if you are, please stop poking me in my fucking back. It hurts. So, BrothersGaddor.com. You can go and pick your Wrestle Buddy up today. You can also get your best buddy Blue as well. The Blue Meanie will be there as well. And as an additional treat, you can get a 2-pack. That's right, 2-pack of your favorite podcast hosts there together. The Meanie and Meanie official 2-pack at BrothersGaddor.com. The Feinberg Method. Use promo code Goober and save up to 20% off of your entire purchase. My trainer, Brad Feinberg, is ready to help you with both your physical and mental well-being. He is ready for you, so go to thefeinbergmethod.com. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville, on the outskirts of Pittsburgh. You saw me rocking their sweatshirt yesterday during my media events, and they are ready to help you look great with your hair and beard needs. So go to schedule an appointment today at the 10th Ward Barbershop by going to 10thwardbarbershop.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Foundation Radio. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt. Keep the lights on at Casa DeMeanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today and become a part of the Pod Squad. Tiers start at just $10, so you have no excuse not to. So go and check it out. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/Mind of the Meanie. Like, comment, and subscribe and help us get us in the freaking algorithms, because that's the way to do it. And thank you to our sponsors, Manscaped and Green Road CBD, for sponsoring the program today. Meanie, I want to thank you as always, sir, for doing this wonderful program that we do together each and every week. I'll be returning to Philadelphia for next week's episode, so I'll sound crystal clear for Carl as well as he edits this show, and I want to thank the Pod Squad for being here today. For the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind
Blue World Order
of the Meanie. Peace.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.